So thank you everyone for logging in and joining us again. This is a really nice way to stay connected with your practice, and it's important. I'm gonna do, if you were here the last time I taught, it's gonna be pretty similar, moving through some standing postures, then working some back bends. My husband is gonna do it behind me, and he's promised me not to, I promised him not to do Shavasana. So he'll be here. Otherwise, you can put the camera on whoever you want to follow. But most of you know what you're doing. There's a lot of Barkan teachers in here. Thank you guys for your support and your love. We feel it when we teach, for sure. I'll try and throw in as many Jimmyisms as I can to make you all smile. All right, so let's start, please. Standing on the top of your mat. Bring your feet together. Yeah, you can go there. Roll the shoulders down and back. And fix a spot to just look at for right now. Huh? Fix your gaze, your drishti. And really come in to your own space, to your own body. Big breath in. Slow breath out. Bring your hands to your heart center. Set an intention for your class. It doesn't have to be world peace. It can be as easy as a word, practice. You can dedicate that practice to somebody if you desire, but just hold on to that. And we'll start with Surya Namaskara, sun salutations. Bring your arms up overhead, nice big stretch. Look up, reach up, stretch up, and grow. Exhale, fold it forward. You can bend your knees as much as you need to here in the first forward fold. Let the head hang heavy. And then pedal through, left, right, left, right. But already here, right? Already here, you're linking a movement with your breath. Maybe the heel comes down on an exhale, the other one comes up on an inhale. No need to move quickly here. Huh? Again, the head is heavy. And you can keep a bent knee in your forward fold for as long as you need to in your classes. So if you've got tight hamstrings, if you've been out running a lot, take it easy on yourself. Here we go. Big inhale, right leg's gonna float back to your runner's lunge. Line up that left knee and ankle. Roll the shoulders down and back. Lift that belly up off the thigh. Pull the left hip back just a little bit and get that hamstring nice and strong. And then both hands are gonna come down. The left leg goes back and we find ourselves in a high plank. If you don't have the energy this morning or this afternoon, wherever you are, you can drop to your knees to modify here. And we'll go down quickly for a chaturanga and then right back up. Down back to chaturanga, and we'll push it through for an upward facing dog, just the top of the feet and the hands on the mat. You can modify with a cobra, again, as long as you need to. Flip those toes, push it back to down dog, Adho Mukha. Make sure your fingers are spread nice and wide. Feet are open hip distance. And again, if you need to bend those knees, bend the knees. Better to get the back stretch at the beginning of class than worry about those hamstrings yet. We'll get there. Again, pedal through, little left, right, little shimmy, little shake. And then we're gonna lift that right leg up, bring it all the way back to your runner's lunge. Advanced people, you can push the heel down first, right leg back up and through. And again, we're gonna line up that front knee and ankle. If you can not see your toes, you might wanna think about drawing that right hip and getting light on the fingertips. Chest is open, back leg is strong. Left leg comes forward to Uttanasana, our forward fold. Hands come to your heart center, round up. Big inhale, arms up overhead. Optional back bend here. Exhale, fold it forward. Take that big inhale and the left leg will float back to runner's lunge. Rolling the shoulders down and back, pulling the right hip back a little bit. Getting up on the toes of the back foot. And then both hands down for plank. Strong plank here, shoulders a little bit forward, belly up and in, thighs strong. Drop to your knees if you need the modification. Down you go, chaturanga, push it right back up. Down again, chaturanga, and push it through, upward facing. Flip the toes, down dog. Feel free to pedal through it here. You know, a lot of us are working without the heat, so it takes our body a little longer to warm up. That's perfectly okay. Just make sure your fingers are spread nice and wide, and a little bit of a soft elbow here, so you're not dumping all that weight into your joints. We're protecting them. Left leg's gonna come up and through, back to lunge. And again, we're lining up the knee and ankle. That's protecting the knee. Pull the left hip back a little bit, belly strong, inner thighs hug in, and the right leg comes up, Uttanasana, forward fold, round it up. Second set, here we go, arms up, optional back bend, always encouraged. Fold it forward, Uttanasana. Right leg goes back. We'll move a little quicker in our second sets. Left leg back, high plank. Chaturanga down and right back up. Chaturanga through to upward facing and downward facing dog. So, feet open, hip distance, bent knee or not. You want to really feel that stretch in your spine. The chest is reaching for the mat and the shoulders are away from the ears. Right leg coming back up and through to runner's lunge. And we'll take a little twist here. So the right hand goes on the lower spine. We come on the fingertips of the left hand. And then very slowly, as you hug the inner thighs in and you push the big toe mound of that right foot down, you start to open up the spine in a nice little twist. Once the shoulders stack here, you can bring the hand up. Spread the fingers wide. Feel the energy in your body. Change. Right hand goes down. Left leg comes forward. And round it on up. Last one, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Left leg back. Right leg back, high plank. Strong belly, down you go, chaturanga, and back up to plank. Chaturanga, and then through to upward facing dog. Roll over the toes or flip them, down dog. Sometimes we tend to forget about our stomach in down dog, so you really want to be still engaging that Uddiyana Bandha, that lower lock. Belly lifting up and in, protecting the lower spine. All right, let's finish it up. Left leg coming up and through, runner's lunge. And this time the right hand stays down, the left hand comes to the lower spine. Get strong first, right? We strengthen the inner thighs and the belly, and then we rotate lower, middle, upper spine. The hand comes up once the shoulders stack, and we spread the fingers nice and wide. Breathing through it, finding the lightness. Push that big toe mound down of the left foot. Change. Hands down, right leg forward. Uttanasana, round up. Moon salutation. Here we go, arms up. Back bend optional. Exhale, fold it forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Walk to high plank, or you're gonna hop or float to chaturanga. Take the vinyasa, down and up. Again, modifying on your knees if you need to. Down and then through to upward facing. And back to downward facing dog. So our moon salutation is with Crescent Lunge, makes perfect sense. To prepare for it, you're gonna come up on the toes of the left foot and bring the right leg up and then through. Hands come to the hips if you need that modification. And then up we come, we peel off that thigh. Try and keep that front thigh parallel, even if you need to take a little bend in that back knee. Arms come up, shoulders relax. Keep lifting up that lower belly. And let's push it into kneeling salute. Interlace the fingers, release the index finger, drop the left knee down and get it in line with your left hip. Untuck the toes, chin to the chest, round and curl your forehead to your knee. Take a breath here and feel that compression in your internal organs and the massage you give them. Inhale, come up. Exhale, go back. So you're lifting your chest, pushing the outside edge of the left foot down and taking the gaze behind you. Hands to the front of the mat, right leg back, downward facing dog. Take a moment, take a breath, slow it down. Left side, we're coming on the toes of the right foot. Left foot swings up and through. Hands to the hips if you need it. Up you come. Again, we're working that front thigh parallel. Pull the left hip back, and then the arms come up, crescent lunge. Relax the shoulders. Thank you, Tammy, I saw that. Change, interlace the fingers, release the index finger, and then push that right foot off the right foot so the right knee comes to the ground. And round and curl on the exhale, bring the forehead to the knee. Take a nice little breath here. I know it's hard to breathe, but it's good for those internal organs. On the inhale, come up, lift the chest, drop the head back, and push with that front heel. Don't let the hips come too far forward. Lift the chest, that's nice. And change, downward facing dog. Little optional vinyasa for those of you who want it. Otherwise, stay in dog. You can always take child's pose if you need a little break. And we'll move into the second set of moon salutation. Right leg coming up and through, crescent lunge. Hands to the hips if you need it, or come right into it. Work now in the second set on getting that back leg a little straighter, a little stronger. If you've got a straight back leg and you'd like to take the back bend, now's your chance. Change, hands together, interlace fingers, release the index. The back knee drops down in line with the hip. Round and curl your forehead to your knee. Inhale, come up. Exhale, go back. So you're lifting the chest, huh? The chest, the collarbones reaching to the ceiling, the eyes going back a little bit more. Squeeze the hands, push into the shin. Change, down dog. Slow breath in. Slow breath out. Last one. Left leg coming up and through. Hands to the hips or come straight into your crescent lunge. Working that front thigh parallel, working the back leg a little straighter, a little stronger, pulling the right hip back, relaxing the shoulders. Optional back bend for those of you who have a straight back leg. Otherwise, we're staying in this posture, breathing, enduring. Change. Back knee comes down, hands together, round and curl it down, forehead to your knee. So you're really hollowing out the belly, maximum, maximum. Inhale, come up. Exhale, take your biggest back bend thus far. So push that outside edge of the right shin into the mat. Lift the chest up. Breathe. Exhale, go back just a little bit more. Hold it steady and change. Down dog. Look in between your hands. Float, hop, or walk it forward to Uttanasana. Inhale halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Open up the feet, hip distance, Pada Hastasana from the front. So you're gonna bend your knees a lot, like a little gorilla, and you're gonna slide your hands underneath so that your wrist creases touch your toes, where you wear your bracelet or your watch, that's touching it. You can keep your knees bent as much as you need to, let go of the head and the neck, drop it down, thank you. And then roll the body weight into the ball of the foot as you lift the hips. If you've got your legs straight here, the elbows are bending out and the third eye is looking for the shins. But again, we're using the breath to take the posture just a little bit deeper. We don't have the heat to do that for us right now. So we're using that internal heat. Continue to roll the body weight forward, lift the hips one more time. Push the knees back, but lift up those kneecaps. Change, release. and round up. I'm going to do one more vinyasa before we move into some balancing postures. Warrior 2 triangle. So there will be 2 sets. If you like to play around, you can do it in the second set. Here we go. Arms up. Big inhale, optional back bend, of course. Exhale, fold it forward. Inhale halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale halfway from the look up position. Walk or hop it back. Take the little vinyasa. Push it through to upward facing dog. Make sure the shoulders stay away from the ears here. Nice, thank you. Change, down dog. Set it up. Fingers spread nice and wide. Body weight equally distributed in the hand, not just dumping into that wrist. Pushing the mat away, soft elbow. Back is long. Hips are lifted. Doesn't matter if your heels touch. All right, warrior 2. Right leg coming up and through. You're going to pivot the back foot and windmill those arms around. And again, we're paying attention to that front knee and the ankle. Getting the hips low, the chest up. Pushing the outside edge of the left foot into the mat. Squeezing the belly up and in, pulling the arms in opposite directions. Look to the left, flip the palms, and come on into triangle. You can modify your triangle here by placing your forearm on your thigh. But if you got that straight arm, you're pushing the forearm into the knee and the knee into the forearm, creating a little bit of a pressure to open up the chest even more. You're looking up at the top hand, maybe your chin comes to the shoulder. Sit a little bit deeper. Thank you. Change, downward facing dog. Optional vinyasa here. And we all meet in down dog. Warrior 2, left side. Left leg coming up and through, back foot pivots. Make sure you've got a nice big stance, bigger than 3 feet, bigger than a meter between those heels, which are pretty much in one line. Again, we're working the front thigh parallel, pulling the chest in opposite directions to open it up here, giving us the space to breathe. Lift the belly up. Push the outside edge of the right foot into the mat and the big toe mound of the front. Look to the right, flip the palms, triangle. So I don't like to go too low with my upper body in triangle. I like to see the 2 triangles, the one with the upper body, the entire body, and then the second one with your side body. I find sometimes a lot of people go too low here, so they crunch that side, whichever is lower, and it makes it way more difficult to breathe. So we're finding the lightness in this posture. So if you want to experiment with maybe just bringing it up just an inch or a centimeter, depending on what your metric system is. And change, downward facing dog, optional vinyasa. All right, let's take it home. Right leg coming up and through, warrior 2. I won't hold this so long so that those of you who want to play around can do it. So just set it up. Get the feet nice and wide. Lift that belly, open the chest, look to the left, and come on into Trikonasana triangle. So lots of options here, depending on your practice, depending on the day that you're having with your body. First option, of course, is that side angle, is to just stay where you are. Second option is the side angle lunge, bringing the bicep around to the ear. If you have a bind that you're working on, go for it. If you've got a bird, I know some of you do compass here. That's very cool. I like that. I'm going to add that option in my classes. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, your chest is still staying open. Your breath is equal and even. Nice change, downward facing dog with the optional vinyasa. And the last one. Let's bring that left leg up and through. Right foot pivots, arms swing around, and we settle those hips nice and low to anchor us, but we're still feeling the energy of our legs supporting us. So think about maybe that inside of the right thigh. Look to the right, flip the palms, come on into triangle first, and we stay or we play. So again, finding the lightness for you in the posture. If you need to modify in your second set, put that forearm on the thigh. No shame in that. We're all just practicing. Keep the breath with you. Slow it down. Keep the chest open. Very nice. Change, down dog. Last optional vinyasa. He said yay for anybody who didn't hear it. All right, bend your knees, hop, float, walk it forward, Uttanasana. Hands to your heart center, round it on up. Arms down by your side. So if you need a little sip of water, here's in your moment. If you're dripping, you can wipe it down. Take a second for yourself. Of course, you can pause and take breaks whenever you need to. It's your practice. You're all adults. I don't need to tell you when you can and cannot drink something. And then once you settle down, bring yourself back to your space, back to your Samastitihi, our equilibrium pose. Back. And we'll move on to Garudasana Eagle. So the arms come up. Those of you who can swing, can do it at once, go for it. There's only one set of this, and then the right leg, the right arm comes up around. Let me try that again. Right leg, right arm under. Sit down nice and deep, and then lift the right leg up, over and around. If you can hook your foot, super. If you can't, super. It doesn't matter. What matters here is the compression that you're pushing into your chest with your elbows. The shoulders roll down and back. The back gets flat here, and you're squeezing those thighs together, creating this wonderful tourniquet effect for all the major joints in the body. If you've got your foot hooked, push against the top, the back of the calf, and vice versa. Sit a little bit deeper, everybody. And change. Arms up overhead, directly into the left side. Left arm swings under the right, wrapping like ropes. Sit down nice and deep. Squeeze that belly. Lift the left leg up, over and around, hooking or not. And then we squeeze. Maybe bring the shoulders back just a little bit so we got that flat spine. Pull the tailbone down a bit. Lift the belly up and in, supporting you. And if you're using a mirror, you can use it as your guide to line it up, that center line of your body, fingertips, elbows, belly button, knees and ankles. The knees are the hard part. Change, arms up. And then down by your side, Samastitihi. So we take a moment here to be still after we've compressed all those joints, after we've pushed into our chest, and we let the blood flow freely for just a breath. All right, we're gonna move on to dancing Shiva. So you're gonna pick your right foot up. Thigh is hip level. Couple of options here depending on your flexibility. Either you're gonna grab the outside edge of your knee with your left hand, or if you can manage the foot, go for the foot, straighten the leg. Very carefully, the right arm comes out, fingers spread nice and wide, and you shift that gaze over to your right thumb. Move with intention. Flip the palm. This one is for you, Kate. Hold, hold, hold. Bring it back around and cross the elbows either at the knee or the foot. Hold it steady. Think about that strong standing leg, zipping up that kneecap and the thigh. And if you've got a Janu Shirshasana too in your practice, those elbows come away from each other. And the forehead works itself to the knee. You gotta honor your level here. It's nice, Sita. Change. Right leg comes down. Be still. Left side, same thing. Left leg comes up, thigh parallel to the floor. You can flex that foot back already. That's a nice way to protect your knee. And then the right hand comes on the outside edge of the knee or the foot. Very slowly, the left hand comes behind you. Fingers spread nice and wide. And with control, with intention, we start to shift the dristi back to the thumb. Flip the palm, hold it here. And then bring it back around, crisscross applesauce, either at the knee or on the foot. Shoulders back, strong legs, and go for Janu Shirsha if you've got it. Spine rounds. Mula Bandha, everybody. And change. Back to Samasthiti. All right, let's take a little turn for separate leg stretch. Big arms up overhead. Big step over to the right. Arms out. Lift the belly and come forward with your chest. You can line up your fingertips with your toes if you need to. Bend your knees a little bit here. Wiggle out those hips. But eventually, the body weight's really more in the front part of the foot than the hands. Take your fingers for a little walk out in front of you like an extended downward facing dog, but keep the body weight, again, back in those feet. And just feel a little bit of a neck stretch here. Walk the fingertips back. Bend the knees if you need to, and grab the outside edge of the foot, the heel. If neither one of those is available, you can always go for the ankle. So our first intention is to lift up those kneecaps and straighten those legs, right? So we're lifting them up and pushing them back. If you can get your legs straight here, then you start to bend the elbows out to the side. Make sure your head is just hanging there, huh? No tension in the neck here. And we roll the body weight forward into the ball of the foot to open up the back of the leg. So we're facilitating the stretch. We're engaging our quadriceps maximum, while the hamstrings start to open. Change. Bring your right hand out in front of you, just under your chin, and your left hand on your lower spine. And then we're going to take a little twist here. So opening it up over to the left. Try not to dump all the body weight into that left hip. So squeeze the belly to support the lower spine and the hips. Switch it out. Right hand comes down, or left hand comes down, right arm goes up. And again, we're watching that second hip. Some of us have a tendency to really sink into that. Continue to squeeze the belly to support yourself here. Change, hands down, then bring them to your hips. Come up with control. So two options here. Either you can bring your hands behind you in like a little basket, or if you have a hand towel, you can take the hand towel behind you. Try and keep the hands open, shoulder width. On an exhale, take it back down for a nice little shoulder stretch here. Let the body weight come forward. So we're not forcing anything in the shoulders, and we're just opening them up naturally here to prepare us for the next posture. Change, come on up. Release the hands, arms out. Right foot comes in, and arms down by your side. All right, so let's come to the center of our mat for standing bow. One set only. So I'll count off the last 10 seconds if you're somebody who likes to throw the gas on at the very end, like myself. Otherwise, we'll just hold it steady. So palm up, thumb back, grabbing the ankle from the inside, and that left arm is going to come up, shoot it to the sky. If your shoulder's coming out of its socket, bring it back down just a little bit. Bring the knees together to start, and then very slowly start to lower down. Some of us, because there's a lot of teachers in here today, some of us need to start that back bend first, and then we lower down. But if you've got tight hamstrings, you're going to get the stomach parallel right away. As you kick back, kick up, and kick away, you're holding the posture, but not your breath. The breath comes in and out. As you kick and breathe, inhale, kick, exhale, kick. For 10, 9, 8, hold it steady, breathe, 5, 4. Last little bit, take it there, reach forward, kick back, kick up, change. Very nice, everybody. Breathe it in, let it go. That's over. Left side, second chance to impress yourself. Palm up, then back on the left, grabbing the ankle from the inside, right arm comes up. I like to think about the right side of my body being my strength, the left being my flexibility, and then the posture marries them together. So here we go, knees together, and then you start your kick. Body comes down. The stomach should be parallel. The chest stays lifted. The shoulders pull in opposite direction, but the gaze stays steady, forward, in front of you. Kick back, kick up, kick away. Breathe in, kick. Breathe out, kick. 10, 9, 8. Hold it steady. Breathe. 4, 3, 2, 1, change. All right. Coming to the back of your mat for Tula Dandasana, 10 seconds only. Arms up overhead, interlace the fingers, release the index finger. Take a nice big step forward with the right foot. The body comes down, the leg goes up. Chin away from your chest, biceps squeezing to the ears. Lift that back leg a little higher. Get the chest a little closer to the floor. Strong standing leg. Reach forward, kick back, change. Arms stay up. Good for the length pose. Big step forward with the left foot, and here we go. 10, 9, 8. Lift that back leg up even higher. Rotate that left hip in. Chin away from the chest. Squeeze the palms. Reach forward. Kick back. 3, 2, 1. Change. Arms down by your side. Let it go. Last standing posture, tree with optional toe stand. So you're doing toe stand only if you have healthy knees. If you have any knee issues, just sit it out today. It's better to take care of those knees than to force anything. So a couple of options. Either you can put your foot on your calf, so the right foot, or the inner thigh. If you can work half lotus, the heel comes directly underneath the navel, and that hip just opens up. Hands come into prayer. Focus on one spot. If you're moving into toe stand, go for it, or any version of your tree that you'd like to explore. If you're in toe stand, make your way back up. And we all release together. Other side. Try and repeat what you did on the first side just to find that balance in your body. Sometimes, like myself, for example, I have one hip that's way more open than the other, and I have a tendency to want to do something fancy on the open hip. But just keep the balance in the body today. Moving into toe stand if it's in your practice. But wherever you are, again, we're just coming back to the breath. No judgment. Toe standers, make your way back up to standing, please. and release. Another little sip of water if you need it here, and then on your floor, on the back, Shavasana, number 1. So we'll do a couple hip openers and I'll hold them a little longer than normal. And then we'll move on to our back. There's going to be 3 camels. So I encourage you to open up those hips now, and then we'll move into that with care. So heels are together, palms are upward facing. And we feel that little buzz because we've mixed up all the energy in our body, putting it in these awkward postures. And now it's starting to intelligently move in your body to where you need it most. All right, let's start with Supta Badrasana, butterfly, borboleta, for those of you playing along in Portuguese. The heels come nice and close to your tailbone, the soles of the feet together, and then the knees just open up to the side. Sometimes what's nice is to make a little fist and to push it, to put it underneath your tushy. And that helps to open the hips just a little bit more without risking too much on your back. Chin is in, spine is long, and we're relaxed. And release back down to Shavasana. Pavanamuktasana, when liberating pose, bend the right knee up, interlace the fingers below the kneecap, and bring that right knee directly into your shoulder, to your right shoulder. Shoulders stay down and back, and you can press them down and back. The chin is in. So for those of you with really open hips, you might want to start thinking about taking the box grip. You can also think about grabbing the foot with, like how we do in Janushashasana, and bringing that in. If you've got tight hips here, if you're a runner, or if you play soccer, what we call football, your gluteus medius might be prohibiting you from really bringing that in. And what you can do for that is to give yourself a little bit of a massage right in the ditch of your, behind your hip, and that'll help loosen up that muscle. And release. Let the right leg come down with control. Take a moment. And we do the left side. So repeating what you did on the right, backing off a little bit, bringing it in. As the hips get a little bit more open when you do this one, another thing you can play around with for those teachers out there or those advanced practitioners is you can bring your nose to your knee and try and hold it there. That'll be a little ab work and a little bit more of that internal massage for you. And release, left leg comes down. And we bring both knees up, giving yourself a nice big hug, either grabbing the elbows, the forearms, the hands, chin comes down here. And you're trying to feel the entire spine on the mat. So pull the tailbone down a little bit, hugging the knees in. And release. Legs come down with control. Shavasana. Let's do happy baby, also known as dead bug in kids yoga. for any of the moms who practice with your kids out there. So you're going to take the outside edge of your feet and pull your tailbone down as you pull those feet toward the floor. In this one, it's okay to have that arc of your lower spine to come up a little bit to really start to feel that you're getting into your hips here. So since most of us are alone, if you'd like to straighten your legs and take a little rock on that lower spine, you don't really risk putting your nose or your toes in somebody's nose. Go for it. You can straight, front, back, side to side, however you want to do it. And then release, Shavasana. We'll do one roll up and then take it into a forward fold. So bend the knees, arms up overhead, tuck the chin, inhale, and come up. Exhale forward, straighten the legs, and do whatever forward fold feels right for you here, okay? So if you wanna make it active and grab those big toes and pull it forward, that's okay. If you wanna hang out, that's perfectly fine as well. But what we wanna focus on is bringing the chest forward, right? So we have to look forward in this one in order for that to happen. A lot of times what happens when we round the spine, we make it much harder for ourselves. I mean, if I round I'm pretty flexible, and if I round my spine, I still can't touch my toes. So if you're opening your chest and flexing the toes back, it's much easier for you. And then again, we're just coming back to the breath. On the exhale, maybe the chest goes a little bit more forward. Maybe you can pull with your arms a little bit. Change. Let's come to the center of our mat for half tortoise, Ardha Kurmasana. So the knees are together and we're sitting down on the heels. You can use a block if you want, yeah. Arms come up. Just cross the thumbs here. And then with a flat spine, try and come all the way down, but keep your hips on your heels if you can. Chin is away from the chest. And if you've got a child around, ask them to come and sit on your lower back. It feels really, really nice. But if you're all alone or taking a break from your children, pull your arms forward and your tailbone away from you. So you're really opening up the spine here. Reach forward on the inhale, come up. And then we're gonna come up all the way on our knees for our first camel. Like I said, there's gonna be 3. So whatever that means for you. If you wanna start gradually, I suggest that for your back bends, and then moving into your biggest one for the third one. And from here on out, whatever we do in between the camels is up to you. I'm gonna give out my suggestions, but I know that there's a lot of you who like to twist between your back bends. So feel free to do that. It's up to you. Here we go. Camel number 1. Always starting with your hands on your lower spine like they're stuck in your back pockets. If you need to modify by coming up onto your toes to make it easier for yourself, that's a wonderful way. Start by dropping your head back. That's already working, right? Chest lifts maximum, and then maybe grabbing one heel at a time. Maybe not. Maybe you stay where you are today without the heat. Some of us can't get into that as easily. Once you're into it though, try not to lean back too much. You're pushing your hips forward so that they're in line with the knees, and you're holding on to those heels. Eyes go back. Change. One hand at a time, come out of it slowly. And I'm gonna suggest child's pose here in between, but do what you gotta do for you. If you're in child's pose, the big toes are together, the knees are open the width of the mat, and the forehead is down. And you just breathe through it. If you're in child's pose, bring your chin to your chest, round up slowly, and we're going to come back into that camel. So onto the knees open about hip distance, coming up on the toes if you need that modification, hands on the lower spine, head drops back. Big inhale, lift that chest maximum, and go back with control. Opening the chest, breathing slow and easy here. Sometimes the back bends are really challenging for some of us, huh? That's okay. Just be where you are today. One hand at a time on the lower back, come out of it slowly. And either another half tortoise or child's pose or whatever's right for you. We slow down the breath. Count the inhale for 3. Count the exhale for 3. Last one. Chin into the chest, round it up. Up onto the knees. Hands on the lower spine, or moving into your biggest back bend thus far. You've worked for it, 45 minutes so far of posture to lead you to this moment. After this, it's just some back stretching, some twisting, and a Shavasana. So make this your moment. Take advantage of your body being as open as it is right now to maybe lift that chest even higher. Very nice. And change. I'm going to suggest rabbit here. Otherwise, again, do what you want. So knees together. You need rabbit. Sitting down on the heels and then grabbing one heel at a time. The chin comes into the chest. You round maximum, and go down slowly. Top of the head comes on the mat. Very little weight in that head. And then you begin to lift the hips and pull on those heels at the same time. If your knees have walked away from your forehead, you can try and scoot them a little bit forward. But you're doing the opposite motion of what we just did in Camel to really stretch the back side of the body and open it up maximum. Push the body weight a little bit more into the knees, lift the hips, pull one last time. Change, round up, spin around, lie down, Shavasana. I always think that Shavasana after rabbit is like one of the best feelings that there is in hot yoga. So keeping the eyes open here, we're not quite done. Moving into our side belly twist. So feet flat, knees bent. Lift up the hips, push them over to the left, and then drop them back down. Bring your knees into your chest, maximum, and then let them fall over, no, other way, to the left. Yeah. So you can put your right arm out here, whatever side you're doing, it doesn't matter. You can amplify a little bit here by straightening those legs, grabbing a foot. You can eagle wrap them. But we're trying to keep the shoulders down and let the twist happen naturally the entire length of the spine. So by keeping the shoulders down, we assure that we're not over twisting on the upper spine, but we're taking it into the belly and the lower spine maximum. Sometimes what's nice here also, for those of us who modify, you can put in a block under your knees. Sometimes that feels really nice. And go ahead and close your eyes if you want here. Coming back into your body, into your space, inside you. Bring it back to center. Let's do the opposite side. So feet flat, knees bent. Push, lift the hips, scoot them to the other side. Drop them back down. Your palm can be downward facing here. That helps keep that shoulder on the floor. But again, we're not sacrificing the shoulder down for the stretch of the back, the twist in the spine. Slow down your breath. Notice it come in. Notice it go out. And release back to center and back to Shavasana. So we're going to move into our final Shavasana here. If you've got a little hand towel, you want to cover your eyes. Give your shoulders a final shimmy, your hips a little wiggle. And for this final Shavasana, you can open your legs and your arms just a little bit more. Palms always upward facing. As you breathe in, relax your toes, your feet, your ankles. Relax your shins, your calves, your knees, all up the thighs, around the hips, lower, middle, upper spine. Relax your stomach. Relax your chest. All around the shoulders, down the arms, the wrists, the hands, the fingers. Relax your neck, throat, jaw, face and head. Your entire body open, heavy, still. Allow your mind to follow your peaceful inhale and your gentle exhale. Not forcing the breath, just watching it like a spectator. And then we take that 2-part breath to 3-part breath. As you breathe in, breathe out, and pause. In, out, pause. And it's in that quiet space where we're completely still, where our third eye connects to who we really are, to joy, to light, love, peace. And that's the bit that we take with us. Gently bring your awareness back to wherever you are and your body. Giving your toes and your fingers a little wiggle. Maybe taking a full body stretch here. Arms up overhead, pointing the toes, waking up. And then very gently with your eyes still closed, roll over to your right side into the fetal position. This is a nice moment to leave whatever on the mat doesn't serve you and create with the universe whatever you need to bring into your life. Very gently come up to whatever comfortable seated position is right for you. Arms relaxed, palms upward facing, taking a mudra if you like. We feel the energy and the space we've created in our own bodies, the clarity we've created in our minds, the warmth we've made in our hearts. Bring the hands to your heart center, bow down to yourself, your practice. I thank you for having me again. I miss you guys. I can't wait to see you. Have a beautiful weekend. Namaste.